Yo, yo. My phone is ringing just in case it's someone. Nope, scam likely. What is up, everybody? Hope you are doing right. Happy Friday, May 9th. Let's go. You know what that means. Pizza date. Pizza date. Are you going to have pizza tonight? I sure hope so. I know that I am. We are going out. There's a Noti, crypto drunk in the building already. Let's go. That might have gotten you a bronze medal. That might have gotten you a bronze medal, sir. That means Volmer get the gold, Blocky get the silver, crypto drunk gets the bronze. Congratulations. A little bit later in the show, actually, Blocky's going to come on, and instead of just me talking charts, we got Blocky coming on with me today to hang out and chit chat. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to do market news, and then he'll hop in for the numbers. So he'll be here in just a little bit. So I got to try to stay on track. You know what I mean? I got to try to focus. Focus. While I do that, while I focus and get through the things that we got to get through, I want you to do one thing. I want you to smash that like button. All right. That's the number one thing that you can do to help me. As you know, trying to grow the channel, things are fresh, big changes, all that stuff. That's your support means the world to me. So go ahead and smash that like button, or just mash it. You don't have to smash. You can just mash it. Okay. All right. And make sure you're following, subscribing, doing all that stuff. If you are watching the video on X, you know that you could repost it out, tag some people, tag some friends, say, hey, yo, come check this out. Because when we do get to the chart section, one thing we love to do is take recommendations and requests from the community. So, I'll be your chance to, I don't want to say shill your project, but talk about a coin that you want to talk about. That's all I'm saying. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Really quick, the pizza trading competition, the carnival as they call it, over on Phemex is going on, as most of y'all already know, even though I know that you guys are not on my trade team, which is fine. I get it. It's cool. And so things are going well. We're still in the top 100. I think the last I looked, I'd slipped into the low 70s. We'll see. Let me just go over here and refresh. 77, 78. Okay. So we got to pick it up. You're going to have to pick up that trade volume there. But come along for the ride. Join the team. Get trading. There are threshold levels from $500 of trading volume all the way up to more than 10 million. So, it's broken out pretty good, and you still have a lot of time. There still happens to be 11 days. You can trade $500 worth in 11 days, and you probably, pick yourself up a couple bucks. Pretty cool. Okay. What else was there? Next week is Toronto. Obviously, if you guys are going to be in Toronto for either Futurist or Consensus, I will be at both. I'll be emceeing one of the stages at Futurist, and then I'll be doing media stuff over at Consensus. So a lot of big interviews planned up. If you want to chit-chat crypto, or if you just want to have a beer and chat crypto or chat life, that's fine with me. Just tap in. Let's go. Let's hang out. I love doing that. It's my favorite thing. So I do have a lot of RSVPs to the events in the nights and stuff. So I'll be bouncing around with the crew. We'll be having a good time. So I hope to see everybody that is, if you are watching and you're going to be in Toronto for the events, I'll see you there. Okay, pump through the weekend. Jason saying, let's pump through the weekend, please. Bags have been packed. I'm ready. I know my whole thing is that you got such PTSD that we're going to just give it all right back, because that's all that we've been doing since December. Anytime there has ever been a momentum shift since then, because we've been sliding since, it just gets wiped out. And then obviously more because we just keep going down. So, when we get to the charts and when we talk with Blocky, we'll obviously get a chance to go through that stuff, and I want to hear what he has to think. And there's, he's got a different perspective than I do, and I know that eventually it's not a downtrend. I know, but you're in a downtrend until you're not. Now, this most recent activity might have taken us out of a downtrend. Let's see what I would like to do the total. And let's get this thing to a week on the weekly. We've definitely broken structure, for sure. Within the last So if we were to draw this, We could probably move this a little bit here like that. So a couple weeks ago, we broke that downward structure, and that is what had been going on since December. So we back, baby. We are back on our way up, as you guys all know. It's been fun. It has been a lot of fun. So, all right, let's do this. Let's get into, let me make sure I'm on the right thing, y'all. There you go. This is what I need. Share this tab, and then boom. All right. So here we are on CoinMarketCap. Let's go through the overall market, and then we'll get into some headlines, and then we can get Blocky on here, and we can talk charts, and then that'll be the fun stuff. That's what we'll get into, a lot of the fun stuff today. So as I was saying, global market cap here on CoinMarketCap says 3.24 trillion, but over on TradingView, it is 3.21. So close. It's a little bit closer than they normally are. So that's good. Good to see. We've got the altcoin index at 34. Let's go. We had a great conversation this morning about the Shrimpin portfolio. We'll talk about that in just a second here when we pop in there. The fear and greed up to 70. Dang. But in a bull run, like when shit gets hot and heavy, it's just going to be extreme greed, and it'll just stay there and for extended periods of time. So that's okay. It did come on quick, that 70, because we were down low, but hey, I think we'll take it. All right, let's go to the altcoin index. As you guys know, we've been doing our Shrimpin portfolio. Let me pull it up to see how it's looking this afternoon, because we made some decisions that we are going to be rolling some things around. We've got, we've had these coins now for a month. We've got Fetch, that's more than doubled. We've got Jasmy, which is damn near close to doubling. PYTH has gained 71% after today. How about that? That was the slowest mover we got. Kind of feel like it might be time to let those three go. And then we've got, let's see, Render has done 65%, so we could maybe hang on to that one a little bit longer. But I think at the end of the day, on some of these, if not most or all, the idea would be to pull the initial, right? And so, say, for example, let's use the Fetch. Fetch is at, right now it's worth $214, what we got, right? So we pulled 100 initial, so we're riding with $114 of free PYTH money. So, or Fetch money, excuse me. So I think, or AGI, the super authentic motorcade intergalactic warriors, whatever the name of it is. It'll always just be Fetch. It's like the Sears Tower. It's like a lot of other things that are historic, and then you try to change them, and it's like, nah, don't work. Not going to work. Not going to work for the brain. Sometimes the brain just doesn't allow that kind of stuff. So, all right. So back to the Shrimpin here. So we're if you're new to the community watching the Shrimpin stuff, hello, welcome, thank you. Make sure you're subscribed and joined and followed and all that stuff. But so our Shrimpin strategy is right here, where we take the top 100 coin performance over the last 90 days, and we go all the way to the bottom, and we see what's down here. Like, are there anything good down here that we think is going to make a nice run, and at least a nice comeback? And so you can see, obviously, we've been on a tear market-wide for the last little bit here, and so to the last 2 days. So the numbers that you can see, 41%. Now you got Pi at 57% or whatever, but a lot in the 30s and 20s. This shit, when we got our portfolio back on April 7th, these things were down 72%, lots in the 60s, right? And so that was a real nice come up. So now, instead of just sitting on those, we're going to have to shuffle around. And that was the whole idea of moving. And it was a great conversation. If you guys didn't check out the Web3 breakfast this morning, make sure you check out the replay of that. We had a great conversation, and part of it was all about what to do with our shrimp import. So we are going to be rolling the shrimp import. We got right now, the whole idea, and what I said was, we've as the captain of my shrimping boat, I'm pulling the boats. We're pulling them out of the water. We're going to the dry dock, and we're going to scrape all the barnacles off. We're going to come back for the next season. So we're going to take a couple days, figure that out. Bada boom, bada bing, we're back in. So, but for now, like this weekend, I will take care of at least stabling off and securing the profits on this port. Kidoku. Let's see here. So that was Shrimpin. Let's go back to the markets. Share that tab. All right, so Bitcoin 1031. This thing's been fighting, man. We want to get this thing back up. I know it's like crazy. We're pretty damn near close to 108,000, which is our all-time high again. Like it happened fast, but here it is. Let's go. Let's push that because we know once we get over there, we're in price discovery mode. So probably you could expect at least another 10,000 after that. So let's get into the teens. That'll be fun. So let's break 108 and let's get to the teens. Man, we could even touch the 20s. Man, we could even just go on a roll and touch the 20s. $120,000 Bitcoin. Let's go. The market is gonna pump. Ethereum ripping and rolling. 2336 up 15% almost today. 26.5 on the week. Whew. I wore that ETH shirt for a reason yesterday. All right, because I knew what was gonna happen with ETH, and I wanted you guys to experience the joys of such pleasant gains. And so I pulled that shirt out of, I'm not even shitting you. I'm going to full screen this right now. I'm not even shitting you about this. That shirt was in retirement. It had been a very long time since that shirt had been come out of retirement. And sure enough, much like the one time that I pulled out the, I got Ethereum version, but they're slides. These are lace ups of these Chuck Taylors, right? These are some dojis. I got Ethereum ones that I wore those things one time. I'd never worn them. I put them on one day and ETH pumped, and this was like, I don't know, 2 years ago or whatever it was. So I'm telling you, man, I might be the chosen one. So, I'm just saying. Oop. Shepherd. The shepherd. All right. So that was Ethereum. XRP 235 up 5% today. Let's go, XRP Army. We're going to talk about an article today that has to do with the case, and we read yesterday that 50 million is what they're going to have to pay, and the other, I think it was 75 million that was in the escrows coming back, but someone's challenging this, so we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about that in the articles. You got Solana 171. Love to see that up 15% in the week. Dogecoin, it's the power of the shoe. Maybe we need to put that on if you want some double-digit gains, but it's up almost 8% today, so nice to see that. Cardano number 9, 78 cents, almost 7% today, about 12% in the week. So there you go. Hey, if you are in the Cardano community or the ADA gang, my fam, the ADA gang, I did put out a tweet today. Let's go to this. So because I need your support. I need your help. And so I got a lot of really big, I'm lining up a lot of really, really big interviews for next week in Toronto. And I want to see what if the community can help me out with this one. So I need your help. Yeah, I give the Cardano community a hard time. I know, but it's only because y'all rejected the ADA gang name. That said, respect where it's due. I'm trying to line up an interview with Charles next week in Toronto. If you want to see that conversation happen, I'm gonna need you to hit that post up. Make some noise on it. Come on. We need to get some more engagement on it because, again, I'm doing some really big interviews. This would be literally the same caliber of literally the interviews that I'm doing. And so I just want to see, if you guys can help me out here. So, boom, boom. Blocky will be in the StreamYard about 10 minutes. Let's go. All right. That means that I got to hurry. Or he can just hang out while we do articles. Anyway, I'll do what I can. All right. Back to, let's look at it. We got what's our big pumpers? What's the big pump? You got to pump it up. It's big time PYTH. Oh, PYTH heads. Let's go. Oh yeah, that's right. That's why it's up so much in the port since even this morning. Let's go. Yo, Breezy in the house. Let's get it. All right. So PYTH up 38% today. Let's go. Love to see that. Pepe, Athena, Jupe, Pi, Uniswap, ETH. All right. So we got some gainers. What about any losers? Any opportunities? Nah, Bitcoin Cash. Give me a break. Nope. Anything down on the hour? Nah. Nope. What's still anything down on the week? Nope. looks like you missed your chance, baby. You missed your chance. So it's time to dance with the coins you got. You can obviously buy more, but you're going to be buying for a lot more than they were, 2 days ago. All right, so let's get into some articles because we got Blocky coming up soon, and I don't want to be the guy running late. Ripple and the SEC settlement has a surprising new twist. I was just telling you about this. The SEC official slams the Ripple deal, warning it weakens crypto enforcement and sends the wrong message to bad actors. What? Everybody knows this whole thing's been a scam the whole time. Like it's been like, what is Caroline Crenshaw thinking? Anyway, Caroline Crenshaw, she filed an official dissent statement on May 8th to Judge Torres. In the statement, she claims that the Ripple SEC settlement deal undermines the authority of the court. She also believes that a settlement plea would show that the SEC is receding. Well, we know that they are because the entire policy is changing. The problem is that she is like a crony of a good old Mr. Gary Gensler. The commissioner also warned that the SEC's eagerness to abandon fines would send a troubling message to the crypto sector. This would lead companies to believe that violating securities laws will not result in significant penalties, potentially encouraging more misconduct. I don't believe so. I feel like this has just kind of been a different situation from the rip. And once a lot of things started to come out, you're like, okay, this, especially if you got a chance. We went down to Atlanta and watched the XRP movie. And, there seems like there was some shady shit going on from the Ethereum Foundation into what happened with XRP and how it all went down. But it's not my story. Anyway, as you guys may or may not know, it was like 125 or 150 million dollars. I guess 125 million dollars that was in the escrow. The idea was that they were going to have to pay the $50 million fine, and then they were going to get the return of 75 million. And that part of the whole thing is like, that goes to show that you're just going to get the old slap on the wrist. We're not even going to fine you 100% of what we thought we were going to, or what the court said you were going to do. But I feel like this case is just a little bit different, In 2020, the SEC sued Ripple, arguing that it was selling their token XRP without a registered security status. The court partially agreed, ruling that Ripple violated the law when selling XRP to institutional investors, but not when selling it on exchanges. So the secondary market was A-OK. So that means people like us are fine. All right, well. It's like the case. What was that? What was that? Lamb Chop, the song that never ends, right? This is the case that never ends. The SEC is not our friends. The U.S. Senate blocks the Genius Act, drawing Treasury criticism. The Senate blocks the Genius Act affecting U.S. crypto leadership. Scott Bessent warns of innovation moving offshore. Stablecoin market remains vulnerable to fragmented rules. Also, it just shows that the Democrats are in a, the whole thing was, and they brought up a lot of points and to enrich yourself and all that stuff or otherwise, whatever. People understand that, but it's also crypto, and that's kind of what people are doing. But should someone in the position that he is capitalize on with the billions of dollars or whatever that they made, and then there was some I was reading some other headline yesterday about this whole thing, and it just seems wonky to me, and it's like this political theater bullshit that we just can't get rid of. And I know that, they want to do this right. And, maybe it was moving a little too fast. And this is just a way to be like, hold up, just slow it down so we can just wrap our head around it. Because for the most part, most people, and I would assume a lot of these old geezers in Washington don't know shit about shit. So like, they don't really understand it. And that's why they're like trying to slow it down. That would like from like a 30,000 foot view, like that's what I would think. But let's get into this article to see what John Kojo Kumi says. On May 8th, 2025, Scott Bessent, who happens to be the U.S. Treasury Secretary, criticized the Senate's vote against advancing the Genius Act. Decision drew attention to the absence of a unified framework for stablecoin regulation. There's Treasury concerns the Genius Act and U.S. crypto leadership. So this is where he voices dissatisfaction after the Senate halted progress on the Genius Act. This legislation was designed to create a unified federal framework for stablecoin regulation, an initiative seen as crucial for maintaining American financial leadership. We have got a quote here. Let's see. Who is this from? With Genius Act stalled, stablecoins face a fragmented regulatory environment across various states. Such circumstances could drive digital asset innovation away from the U.S., posing risks to its competitive stance in the global market. Now, for stablecoins and other digital assets to thrive globally, the world needs American leadership. The Senate missed on an opportunity to provide that leadership today by failing to advance the Genius Act. You know, there you go. You got Cynthia Loomis in here. John Deaton were there. Historical trends in the current state of stablecoins. I mean, we know where all this stuff is going. It just makes me think that the halt, you know, they really just halted this whole thing is because it was moving too fast. They don't get it, and they still haven't figured out how to, like, you know, put their grubby mitts up into it. So time will tell. Remember. Don't let any. And this is, I think, you know, the most important thing throughout any of this, and what you should not forget, is that listen to what they are doing, but don't act on that. Do what they do. Do what they're doing. You can listen to what they're doing. You can read these articles. We can go through them. We can have our opinions. You can, you know, maybe say, oh, this is interesting or whatever, but like, really just watch what's going on behind the scenes. And some of the other articles that you see in these states, you know, that are the domino effect and all this stuff, like they've already said. There was another thing. Let me pull this up. There was a bank. This came out, what, yesterday? Here's an article from 6 hours ago. See, I don't want these customized. Just, golly, get out of here. I'm just not a fan of that. Here's from the Block 2 days ago. It's along the same lines. U.S. Bank can buy and sell customers' crypto assets on their behalf. The OCC clarified that national banks are permitted to execute cryptocurrency buy and sell orders on behalf of their customers. The agency recently rescinded its previous stance that required banks to get its approval before engaging in crypto-related activities. So, I mean, it's here, right? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you can go, like, very soon, like, and this is shit we've been talking about now for a long time. Like, very soon, your grandma's going to be able to go to the bank and be like, hey, Sonny, can you put 25% of my savings in Bitcoin? Or stable. I mean, it seems like they're probably going to have some contention here with the stablecoin thing. So it's not like banks are going to be offering that. I mean, you can maybe, who knows what the offering is that, you know, when you go to here in America. Well, I don't know what, you know, what things are like anywhere else or how it works, but this, like, legislation, all this stuff specifically here, U.S. banks, like when I go to Bank of America, you know, is it, you can, basically they're with like Coinbase, and so anything that Coinbase has that you can have access to, or is it very specific things in the beginning because they want to you know, like minimize the risk or whatever? That is what I'm interested to find out more about, is what are the initial offerings going to be? Is it going to just be Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, like the top 5 that we had heard, you know, like what's the plan for the rollout here? Or is it just like fucking Degenville, like we're going straight, you know, if you want to get yourself some Shiba Inu, well, not even that, I was thinking more Degen, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go into the trenches kind of shit, and like you can get it on DeFi. Who knows what the offerings are going to be? That'd be wild. Yo, Crypto Princess, what's up in the house? Let's go. Shout out to the chat. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are keeping it real today. All right, let's keep rolling. We got a lot more to get through here. All right. Let's do this. I want to do these 2 videos because these are important. I want to make sure that we get through these. So share this. Go full screen here. So we're going to do 2 quick videos. This first one, you will be excited about. I was when I watched it.
What would your new target be?
Yes, so we have always had a 2030 target, the base case in the 700 to 750,000 range, the bull case in the $1.5 million range. David Puel, our analyst and our on-chain analyst, put that piece out recently, and you can see the building blocks, how much share we expect Bitcoin to either take from gold or grow that store of value market. Institutions moving in, and they've barely moved in. We have 1 million more coins, roughly, to be minted ever. And institutions are just testing the waters right now. And then there's the emerging market use case as well. So we think we have miles to go, yes.
Yo, 1.5 million coming from Cathy Wood. Now, when do you expect that? You know, she had said their target was 2030. I mean, 2030, I feel like, as it seems, is turning out to be the year that a lot of metrics are due, right? That's the projection. And you know, this was obviously things that had started, you know, not this year. So it's not just like, oh, in 5 years, like this is, you know, metrics that were coming from 2023, 2024. So really interesting that, you know, over the next 5 years, 4.5 years, we could potentially see a $1.5 million Bitcoin. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that? Drop your comments down below. I want to know. $1.5 million Bitcoin by 2030. Is that possible? Let's actually do a, where do I have the chat? The chat's over here. Let's do this. Start a poll. 1.5 milli BTC by 2030. Yes or no? All right. There is a poll up on the YouTubes, over on the YouTubes. So if you are watching there, make sure you get up in on that. And if you're watching over on X, I appreciate you. You can drop that in the live chat as well over on X. Just say yep or nope. Yep or nope. $1.5 million Bitcoin price. 2030. Whew. Man, oh man, if that don't get you excited to be a whole coiner very soon, I don't know what does. And that's the kind of, like, over the next couple of years, you could see that, you know, that 10x gain. That's why, you know, you got to make the money now so you can have that, so you can get, you know, to that position later. It's always, you know, what we say about Bitcoin is like, unless you're already rich, it's not going to make you rich. But if you have a longer time frame, you're not just trying to make it on this bull run. All right, now we're cooking with peanut oil. Okay. But you still are going to need quite a bit of cheese. Like, you know, to even get one, it's 103,000. Hey, what's up? Everybody coming in from Randy's show. I appreciate you. Shout out to Miss Teen Crypto, aka Randy Hipper. Let's go. She's awesome. She is very awesome. I have known her now for many, many years, and it has just been. I was on a show with them a couple weeks ago for the Lizard Lookout, and you know, at the end of the show, it was like, you know, it was this question that they asked, and it was kind of a surprise. And you're like, you know, give a shout out to two people, and it was one of the people that I gave a shout out to was Randy, because it's, you know, I've known her since she was Miss Teen Crypto when she was young. You know, obviously much younger than she is now, because she's been in the space for several years, like I have been. And to watch her grow and take, you know, her demographic and just kind of come up with it, like, that's special, right? Like, as a creator in the space, as someone in the space, like, that's special to see, because that's almost like the full, you know, circle moment, because, like, you know, you see, like, she's going by Randy now, she's not going by Miss Teen Crypto. And so to watch the evolution of, and that's one of the things that, you know, when people always ask about YouTube, and you know, how it works and what you do, one is like, you just start, right? Because your community that comes around with you and they watch the evolution of your channel and they watch the growth of it happen, it's special for them because they get to be a part of it, right? Especially for the OGs, for the, you know, the day ones and all that. And so again, to watch that happen and now watch her move, and you know, she's on like Fast or Money or whatever the show is that she does. I can slip in my mind right now that she's on quite frequently. You know, it's so cool to watch the, you know, the evolution of someone's career in this space from, you know, someone else that's been here in a long time. So appreciate you guys being here. All right, I got one other vid. This one right here.
Payouts. This is coming from a new report in Fortune magazine. It comes years after Meta's earlier attempt to remember how cryptocurrency blew up. Fortune saying that Meta's recent outreach to crypto companies focuses on the ability of stablecoins to pay individuals in different regions without the high fees that would traditionally associated with other forms of payment. It also says that Meta has now hired a new vice president of product with crypto experience to help move those discussions along. So you remember that whole adventure that they went on, that ultimately Libra, that didn't make it, but this may be the next incarnation.
You remember I got
there was I guess there was an echo with the video. My bad, G's. I did not know. Okay, so what do you think? Meta coming out with a stable coin now, as if this is for like an internal thing, like, you know, they're saying here for them just to be able to use as, you know, remittance payments for employees or people all throughout the world. Like, I mean, that would make a whole lot of sense, because now you've given, I think, you know, if they've got people who work in, and I would assume that they do, right, in other regions of the world where, you know, a $1 equivalent would go a long way. And so if that's kind of what they're introducing, I think that that's fantastic for, you know, the workforce, if that's what this is. But I still would never trust Meta with a crypto, just because, you know, you couldn't trust them with your data. I wouldn't. At the same time, like, what are you going to say? What are they going to roll back their crypto like Crypto.com did? You know, it's I just if this is an internal thing, it's a nothing burger as a way to manage payouts. Now, is it also to creators as well? Then you're going to get their coin. You're obviously going to want to shift it into something else. Right. They tried it before with Libra. I just don't understand like why they would do it again. So let me ask you a question. Was there an echo on the first video? Or was it only on the second one? Like when we were watching the Cathy Wood one, did you hear an echo there as well? I want to know. Facebook, Libra. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to figure that out for the next time. Okay. And I believe we've got, what other, here in freaking absolute Degen news. And then I think Blocky will probably be here in just a few minutes. Here is the Degen news of all Degen news. Bettors lose millions predicting new pope as Polymarket edge fizzles out. You got to be a special kind of Degen if you're voting on and betting, gambling, wagering money that is like yours, like real money, because Polymarket's like, that's like real money. On the Pope? Well, you got nothing better to do? You really think like, yo, Moreheart Pith heads in the house, Pith on a tear, baby. You know, the whole idea of wagering, to me, this is like, it's just funny to me. And I know that there was a site a long time ago when I first started in crypto. It was an Australian site. You had to, I'm fairly confident you had to go in through a VPN, but it was an Australian site. But you could gamble. They took Bitcoin, and so that's how you could fund your account. And they had some of the absolute weirdest things that you could gamble on. It would literally like this. And so I guess I'm not surprised that you can do that on Polymarket, because Degens will always be Degens. But what do we need to know about this here? Polymarket bettors incorrectly predicted the papal conclave, with Robert Francis pre-vote winning despite having only a 1% chance, according to the platform. This event highlights the challenges of predicting rare events like papal conclaves, contrasting with Polymarket's success in more frequent political elections. And I love, honestly, the fact that my family, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, and so we have got a very, very fun family, and we've got a great family text message feed. And so yesterday, there were several, let me just make sure I'll go full screen over here. Several fun pictures sent back and forth between each other in our group here, between our siblings and my mother. I sent the, kind of tough to see. So I sent the Snoop Dogg, and I have a screen filter on there, so that's probably why it's real tough. So it's the Snoop Dogg on one side with a bag of weed, and then the smoke filter signaling the new pope. So I sent that. I believe it was my brother had sent a picture. They were kind of like standing like up at the thing announcing the Pope, and over the railing is a old style on tap. If you're from Chicago, you get that old style, man. They used to sell that shit at the Bears at the Cubs games. And then, oh man, if you were around the western suburbs in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a place called Zero Gravity, and it was like a teen dance club. And so they put Zero Gravity, turn up with the Pope, ladies free before 10 on the sign, is what my sister put. And then they've got them like in the parking lot. So, we were joking about, he obviously loves Italian beef sandwiches. And if you know about the food culture in Chicago, there's a place like Portillo's. And so knowing that the Pope is a fan of like Chicago food and like beef sandwiches and combos, if you put Italian sausage on and all that shit, it was pretty funny. So, but at the end of the day, that's not what we're talking about. I just wanted to share that little story with you. But so Better's crypto prediction platform Polymarket in recent months have developed an invariable reputation for beating the bookies, but not on this one, that's for sure. Let's see who got the Cardinal Pietro Parolin was the highest odds at 28%. With $28 million of bets placed on candidates other than, holy smokes. That's a lot of money on the Pope, man. You gotta be like, yo,
can you hear me good?
I can hear you just fine, man. Good to see you.
I have no problem hearing myself on the computer for some reason.
You're hearing yourself on the computer?
Yeah, it's like,
oh, here.
Let me see. Yeah, I myself is playing back. It's so weird.
Is it still doing that now? I turned on echo cancellation.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fixed now. Weird.
Yeah. So maybe that was the problem, because like usually that needs to be on for those videos to be able to be heard, but now everybody heard it twice. You heard yourself twice, so maybe needs to be off now. Who knows? I got gremlins in my system. I got audio gremlins in my system, man. Always have, always will. It's my mom says it's me because I'm like part alien or something, and so like I send like the tech voodoo myself. It's my body.
Well, it may have been me. So I'm trying out this. Do I sound clear, or am I?
Sound clear to me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got this microphone here. But it's a microphone / speaker. So it's weird. I can hear you out of this and talk to you. It's weird.
That's awesome.
As long as it's working, I'm happy.
Yeah, sounds great, man. Sounds
cool.
Wonderful. What do you think about this pump?
I love it. I was thinking we were going to stop around the 786 area, but we ended up hitting 86. So we'll see what happens from here. I'd like to get above that in support, but it's looking good. It really is. It's not looking too bad.
Do you think are we running out of juice for right now? Do you think like we're just going to keep running?
Yeah, but I do see possible drive of bear div coming on the 1 day.
Okay.
Whether or not that prints, even if it does print, that doesn't mean we go down from there, because we could print several drives of bear div. So, that's no telling. The divs haven't been diving, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what, it's been a good trading market the last 2 days, though. That's for sure. You kind of you get FOMO a little bit because you step away from a chart and then all of a sudden you're like, damn, that thing pumped a little bit, and then you just remember the strategy. You don't FOMO in. Don't FOMO in. There'll always be another trade, and so like there were a few times throughout the last couple of days where you know, I've kind of had to catch myself on that stream strategy where it's just like, hold up, just wait for a little bit of a retrace. Like we're obviously in a bullish pump right now, but just wait for a thing to take a breath. Like don't just go in like a cowboy. That's what that was my thing, right? I used to just like mark it in, let's go. Like I don't care about the fees, mark it in, get me in that trade now. And now it's like, just hold up.
Right. Yeah, I've been stepping back a little bit myself as far as, you know, just trying to take my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that, I mean, it still happens though. Like I had a couple days, I was underwater in a trade on one of my accounts for a couple days because it was more of an impulse trade where I'm like, oh, that's it, this thing's ready to go. But it went down a little bit more, and I had to like even slide my leverage down in order to get myself some more wiggle room. And so just like, was it last night? The trade went profitable, like finally, and I got the fuck out of that thing. I was like, I'm out of this one. Like,
what was it? Were you trading?
Ondo. It was an long, but I had caught it like I was, and this was bad. It was the last time it was over $1, and so it was, man, because I was like, because I just thought, you know, because it was flirting with that, you know, that level, and then it went over, and I was like, oh shit, dude, this is it. This is where it launches. And so I wanted to get into a trade, and then eventually it just like, you know, just fell way down. I think my liquidation ended, I bought it way down to like the low 70s. So I was fine. I mean, there was a few times where I got nervous because it was like in the low 80s or like mid to low 80s. But at the end of the day, like we made it. We made it out unscathed. And like, I like to say that I let the market breathe. But that was a little too much, to be honest with you.
Right. A little bit too much of a breath.
Yeah. I'm like, I want to, you know, I want to stay in a trade that long in the positives. You know what I mean? And so like, I proved to myself, it was funny. I was laughing. When I closed it out, it was probably no shit, like 4 a.m. I had gotten out of it because like I was done a few trades throughout the night. And then I think at about 4, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit earlier, you know, I'd logged in. It opened my phone and I'd seen that the trade was green. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. So I got out of bed and I was sitting there and I just started laughing. Like when I traded, like when I got out of that trade, I was just like, man, that was one of the, that was one for the books. And so I taught myself, or I laughed at myself for staying in a trade that long in the red, and I cannot stay a trade that long in the green because, and I say I got the PTSD, and I think from the bear market, plus since December, since we started all trading a lot more, like you can't hang in a trade and expect to win it long term because we've been sliding down this whole time. And so any gain that we give throughout a day or a trade that you make, like it was take your money and run because you know what's happening. That shit's going back down. But at some point, that narrative changes. And I think we might be on that swing where it's just like you could stay in a trade for 2-3 days and be like way up if you don't catch, you know, like a wick to like keep you kind of more protected, if you know what I mean.
Right. I totally get it. I'm up 185% on my Bitcoin long. I did jump in at 86K though.
Nice, man.
So, you know, and it's not much left on the margin, but because I've taken profit 2-3 times now. So I just want winners. That's all I want. I want to increase the win rate, and you know, I don't care money wise. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's all about the percentage.
I am 100% with you on that because it's just, this is, you know, this to some extent, yeah, it's kind of like a sprint, but really it is a marathon because if you have your, you know, your long-term mindset, like, you know, you definitely want to be able to marathon it out so that you've got staying power. You can play the market the whole time, you know, good or bad, bear or bull. But at the end of the day, like, you know, there are times, especially now where it's really exciting, where you want to go after those big dollars, you know, like, and I don't want to say frustrating. But I'm sure the problem that most people get is that envy when they turn on Crypto Face and they see that he's trading $20 million at a time, you know?
Yep. My bad. I didn't mean to chat as you. I was thinking I was on my YouTube
good,
as well.
You're good.
10x more heart. Yeah.
That's this on no long that I was underwater in. I had slid it down because I think I had launched it at like 25 and I had slid this thing down to 9x. So I was at 9 when I closed it out last night. So I obviously wish that I was in the profits at 25x that whole time, but no.
Yeah. I've been trying to stay below 10 or below, unless I'm very sure that we're about to shoot one way or another that I'm going. So yeah, I mean, it's been okay. I have a few losses, which is part of the game. So
Absolutely. But I mean, the whole idea is, how do you learn from them and react? What are give me, before we get into charts, give me 2 things that you've learned, say, from your own trading strategy, say in the last several months.
Well, like I said, not to use high leverage when you're not so sure of a trade, for one. Unless you're absolutely confident, you're sure the trade's going to go in your favor, which you can be pretty confident. And another one would be more like take your time.
Yeah.
Wait for that trade setup you have in your mind. Don't force a trade. You know what I mean?
What time frames do you like using?
I use like 1 hour to below. So see, what I'm trying to do is catch like a real quick scalp.
Right.
But sometimes those scalps turn into a longer trade
journey.
Yeah, literally. Like this 86K, I didn't expect to be in. I think I'm in it now. When were we at 86? You're talking almost 2 weeks.
Right. What are funding fees like on a 2-week trade?
It's not too bad because funding fee, I think I'm negative 3 cents right now. But I got a lot of positives here too. Not right now since we pumped.
Right.
Most people are, you're getting paid to be in a short right now instead of a long. But
dude, that's crazy because I was in that long the whole time I was underwater. I ended up paying, I want to say like $40 in funding fees for like a week or whatever it was.
Wow. Yeah. It also, yeah. How much money were you down on? Or like not down on, but what did you throw on the trade?
Like $2,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I'm not playing that high yet. I wish I was at 186%.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. See, that's it, but pretty soon, that's what I'm saying. Pretty soon we're gonna catch those flyers, man, where again, instead of dumping down where you get fucking smoked out or you get, stopped out or whatever, you finally get in the profit, so you put a stop for loss in or a stop for profit in, and that thing gets wigged out. Eventually we, like, when the tide turns and we start going up, like those longs get fucking lost. And it's just like, dude, you want to stay in that thing for a day or do you want to stay in it for a couple days? Right. I remember that in the last run. It's just, we need to be going up for that time.
Right. I gotcha.
Soon enough. All right, let's pull these charts up, man. I do want to know. They're chomping at the bits for the bits.
Chomping at it.
All
right. My screen is shared. All right, I got to jump off of the StreamYard because I got to go to the other one. My second monitor here. Yeah, so with Bitcoin, we obviously had a massive run up. Personally, I was hoping when we were down here, I was hoping to come back down a little bit lower, but it didn't happen. It is what it is. This is the I thought I was on the daily. I thought.
Are you liking the leapfrog?
It's not too bad. I still, it's actually right here. I haven't been using it too much. Like I said, I have a different strategy than most. I try not to use indicators as much as possible, but I love my momentum indicators. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that tells a story. It's a little bit different than,
right. I use these mostly for entries than otherwise. So
that's the you've got that red and green down in your B. you've got those things highlighted out there pretty good. That shows, that's your money flow, right? Like that shows a lot more clear than the way the charts are set up default.
What's that? This here? Or
Down
this here?
below. Yeah, your money flow, the green and red.
Yeah, these are just zones I had marked out right here. Or were you talking about down in the, well, my fake market cipher?
Yeah, we call it B.
Yeah, B that's cool because this is actually called not market cipher B.
I actually need to have a call with I need to get in touch with them. When I talked to Flavin Groper, that was part of the thing that we talked about. So I need to get in touch with them, and I'll be doing a kind of a program with them, and so we'll have referral codes, and we'll have discount codes and all that shit. So
sweet. Yeah, I'm always too cheap to buy the good stuff. So
maybe we'll hopefully we could do like a giveaway. Get some sign up.
That'd be sweet. So yeah, the daily is looking pretty damn good. I don't think that this will curve over anytime soon. Well, VWAP is starting to curve around, but as long as this stays below this here, we will be possibly printing some bear div here.
So do you think, like, obviously not you've been in a trade for a long time, it's a little bit different, but like, would you like say that this is a good time now for people if they're day trading, swing trading, whatever it is, like this would be a good time to maybe start pulling profits, because it looks like we're losing our momentum, we're running out of juice, it's time, and it's good, that's healthy shit, like we need that, we can't just keep pump. It's good to come back down, regather momentum, and then rip.
Right, this right here isn't healthy to me. Like this zone right here, it is healthy because we ran up, but we ran up because we were wrecking all these shorts that were over here, grabbing all this liquidity here. But right here, we also left a lot of liquidity. It's just too easy for the people long in here. This more than likely will get taken, in my opinion, anywhere from 90 to 94, somewhere in that range. But if we get to 94, we're definitely taking 90.
Yeah, well, I mean, when was the last time we had a leverage flush, like a true leverage flush, like a $10,000 one? Like, it's been a while, dude. Like, it's gonna happen before we rip. Like, it's gonna happen. That to me is usually like an indicator of, okay, smells like we're gonna rip, or either go down or go up depending on the momentum of the market or whatever. And so I feel like the next time that we see one of those, 10, 15, I mean, even a $20,000 scam wick, like the leverage flush, like that's the move to like clear everybody out before we just go vertical.
Right. That's why when I said just a few minutes ago that I would have liked to seen lower, just to grab this liquidity here so it's not sitting on the plate. Do you know what I mean? Right here, I wish we would have came down here somewhere in the 90 to 91 and then up. It just would have kept the market maker, should I say, less of an option to come down and grab, because you're probably not going to come back down into here. So
we have a gap, don't we?
Huh?
We have a gap, don't we?
Yeah.
There's like 92.
Yeah, 92. Yeah, about 92 even, up to about 92.4. So it's about a $400 gap there, which ain't too bad. But look at it. It literally would line up if you came down and flushed all these longs out and then back up. It would literally just do what I just said in wrecking these longs that were sitting here. Now, pretty big imbalance here. It's like you always like to say, is like a house on stilts.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, that's normally that's a scary thing. Bull runs not so much, right? Like, expect the unexpected in a bull run, and you can live up on those stilted houses for quite some time. But I think it would make sense that I thought the gap was actually bigger than 400. I guess maybe I'm thinking of a different one, but or maybe it got cleared. I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe that would have happened. The whole idea of that to be the returning place when we do come for a major correction, right? Like, they say like once wicks, candlesticks or whatever.
Right. I know what you're saying. I just can't remember the saying.
Yeah, I think it's here. Once. Let's see. That didn't pull up anything. I guess. Hey, there it is, man. We just made up our own. Once it wicks, it candlesticks. But yeah. Usually it means that like it returns back to wherever that wick happened to have been, plus or negative or positive.
Right. Yep. Always comes back and takes it.
Yeah.
I mean, like this wick here, come back, grab some of that. Then it came all the way down and cleared it.
And as much as we hate to say that, and you think about it, like we just know, like you've been in the market long enough, that shit happens. Liquidation flushes are a real thing. So it's something you got to keep on your mind. Like we haven't had one in a while. And so that's another deterrent for me wanting to stay in a trade for so long, because what's the point for it just to get wiped out? Like you're riding high, you're like, I'm up all this money, and then all of a sudden, they wipe you out, or all your gain. You don't get wiped out, but you probably got to stopping the profit in at that point.
Right, you're moving your stop along. Exactly. Yep. And this right here, I'm on the daily. That's pretty not decent because it's not really that big, but that is definitely an indecision candle right there.
That one where it's like spikes either way and you got just a tiny little body in the middle.
Yep. It's like, I don't know what the hell to do here.
And this is what time frame? Daily?
This is the daily.
And what it did was it gave you the old fake out, and it went down literally and just went down and wicked and touched whatever that VWAP was, and then.
Yep, and I think that was the daily. Well, the daily VWAP's right in the center of it.
It could have been the previous daily. That was, that's one of those things. Like with that leapfrog indicator, man. Like I have really been able to kind of snipe down the scalp trade stuff because of watching it really just bounce. And sometimes you'll get some more leaps than others. You'll get the weekly, the SMA, the monthly, whatever it happens to be, right? But playing just between the daily and the previous daily, it's been lethal, especially like when for whatever reason the price action is down below and you've got your daily and your previous daily up above. Like for that to come back up and catch those was almost like it's stealing candy from a baby. It was like a no-brainer. It's like, okay, put it along, let's hit it. And it would literally go up and smack it and either come back down, so you either have order or you're paying attention, you get out of there, or it kept ripping through and it would leap into some other VWAPs. And I'm telling you, man, if you guys are interested, go back and watch that video I did with Flopping Groper. And if you have more questions, you want to learn more, ask. Come join.
Right. Yeah, I actually just talked to Flopping Groper last night in DM. Yes. I, for some reason, don't see unless it's hidden under this one. I don't see. Do you see my previous daily? I don't see it.
You may have to turn it on.
It should be on. I've never turned it off ever.
Some of them don't come on.
Yeah, normally on the 1 hour, all my stuff shows up. That's odd.
Okay.
Yes, it's definitely on. I'll turn it off.
Maybe it's underneath something.
Interesting.
I think once Wix is plenty pick up sticks with dicks. Candleization. The Bearded Cap Show. Boom. If you got a beard and you wear a cap, welcome to the club. This is the Bearded Cap Crypto Club. I don't know why I have to fake that. You can do it for real, for real.
All right.
Sorry if I blew anybody's eardrums out. What's up, Ice Tink? An interesting name, Ice Tink.
I'm going to refresh this. Hopefully it doesn't wreck anything.
Maybe you should get some deodorant.
Doom says, Blocky, say words. I am. Can you not hear me, Doom?
We can hear you. At least I can hear you. If they can't hear you, that's their fault. Turn your speakers up, boys and gals.
Yeah, I lost my previous day. I don't know what's up with that. I'll have to hit up Flock and Groper on that.
That's interesting. Maybe just turn it off and turn it back on, because there was like something today, and it could just be, maybe there's something going on today, because mine was showing me for Ondo that we were way off the daily, and then as soon as I got it underneath like a 2-hour time frame, the lines were like totally different. I was like, oh, okay,
right. Yeah, I just know, like right now, watch daily VWAP. Turn it off. It's still there. The line's gone, but the badge ain't. Maybe the badge is different.
Yes, I believe the badges are different.
Okay, let's check here real quick, and then I'll go on with it.
Jim said he can hear you. He's probably just.
There it is. It was unchecked. That's very odd, because I don't ever turn those off. So
some of them, like that's the way that it comes out the box, is with it unchecked.
Interesting, because yeah, it was there yesterday. I don't know. Strange. Oh well. But yeah. So what was I looking at? The weekly. I'm going to turn these off for a second, because I like a clean chart. I'm always turning on and off indicators like crazy.
It's funny when you see like a chart with like 5 different indicators on at the same time. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, some people got so much stuff on their charts, and I think I don't think they know this in their mind, but it literally is so distracting. And maybe they can do it. I don't know.
You're a fib guy, right?
Yeah, I like fibs. Yep. And as a matter of fact, on the fib count, I think we came up and hit the 862. Yep. Perfectly. Hold on. Sorry. Right there to the 862. Now, that's why I was saying, if we can get above this and start support and start closing some daily candles above this, all-time high is inevitable.
Are you maybe on a different screen? Are you?
I don't think. Oh, my bad. Jesus. What the hell? What screen was I on?
It was Bitcoin something. It was some other Bitcoin chart.
Interesting. I only have one open. That's weird. Anyway, we came up, hit this 862, and just chilling out right now. I think if we can hold, like on the daily, we keep above this 786. Because I play this by levels. So, we come down, we lose the 786, we probably will come back down to this golden pocket in the reverse action. I'm not saying that is the golden pocket of that retrace. I'm just saying, because you can see the golden pocket. Yeah, that's what does the daily look like on?
I wonder how that's interesting how the VWAP lines up with the fib.
Yeah, it is. I've noticed that a lot on a lot of coins, actually. Previous day, you could probably expect a retest of that. Like I'm looking at like 100, and this is possible to come back down into here, but it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Again, you know how Bitcoin runs. When it wants to go up, it goes up. It doesn't care about downside liquidity.
She's a runner. She's a runner. She's a track star.
Right. Let me pull up something real quick. I just want to see what the liquidity looks like on here. The heat map, because I got this heat map that stupid Bitcoin has given me the code for it. So I had to go into Pine Editor, enter the code, and all that crap. It was not fun, but it's a great indicator, honestly.
So is it those red and green lines over on the right?
Yeah, well, so the darker these lines are, the higher the time frame, and vice versa. If it's not as shaded, because some of these are a different color, it just doesn't look like it. It's lower time frame. Actually, there's really not much liquidity on here. I don't know if you can see that or not. See these lines here?
It's tough to see.
They're very faint. Let me see. Let me see if this changed it. Let's see if this changes. Nope, didn't really change it much. Yeah, anyway, there's some liquidity sitting up here at 106. Other than that, there's really not much more on this chart. Let's check the 4-hour. Lots of lower side liquidity. You can see the shaded difference there. It is kind of tough to see. I'm looking at the looking at it on YouTube now.
So like a lot of liquidity means like if there were to be a liquidation flush for the shorts or for longs, right? Because the money's down, they would swoop it down to take care of all those people that are long right now.
Exactly right. These are all stop losses down here. As you would call liquidity, because the market feeds on liquidity. That's how the market moves. And this is like I haven't really got a one-on-one time with Stupid. It sounds weird saying that, but Stupid Bitcoin's his name. He actually designed this indicator. He made it himself. So this is actually a VWAP right here. So more than likely, this probably will come down to the 100K range, 98 possibly. I'm looking at like where this imbalance is here. We're done with liquidity, so this imbalance here, and this is the 4-hour, by the way. I love the 4-hour chart. Trading, I do like 1 hour and lower, but I love the 4-hour chart. So you're looking at like 97 we could possibly get to clear this imbalance here.
Mm-hmm. All of that is healthy.
Right, exactly. It's a retest of this high here.
Obviously, you got some more activity way back there too. So plenty of if you had I would say liquidity or volume at that at those levels, that should have no problem stopping there.
Right. I agree. I just had to type in chat. Talk, y'all.
Dude.
Right, yeah, Doom. Where you at? I know he said he had work tonight. He just got back from being in Ohio with spending some time with his nan that's not doing so well. So
sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah, much luck to you, and prayers go out to you, man. And if you need anything, you know the number to call. So, yeah, I mean, we are holding 102.3, and that's a decent sign. We see a move up here, come back above 104, and then a swift move back down below 104. That's probably the time we're going to turn around and come down and start hitting 99. I'd say 99 first.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what kind of reaction we get from 99. And then from there, we'll start working on these here. But just, what I do is just jump down to the 24, keep an eye on market structure. We start closing candles below this low here at 102. We're going to move down to this next range here. We start losing this range here. We come down, you know what I mean? I just do it stair step by stair step.
That's all we can do. At some point, it'll stop stair stepping down. It will start we'll take the escalator or the elevator up.
Yep. And anybody that's like a pattern trader, or, I'd like to call them line traders. This is already broke down. That's why I don't trade lines, because somebody drew a line here, would have went short. Yeah, you might be in the profit now, but more than likely it's probably going to sweep up and hit these highs before it comes back down.
Would you consider this? What's the time frame from where you have that drawn? Where does that start?
Here is May 7th.
Okay.
So
is this like a short term bullish flag, like the way that you had it, where we've got a little bit of a flag, and then it's almost like we're in a consolidation zone right now?
Yeah, I guess you could call that. I would do something like this. I don't know where there's my favorites. That's right. You can just hit this and then my favorites pop up. I would probably do something like this. I always like ranges. You know what I mean? Right now we're in the premium. We're above the halfway point of this channel. watch for a pop up to here, and then probably back down because the market's always going up and down.
Yep.
And it's Friday, so are we going to get a weekend pump? Are we going to go get a weekend dump? Is it
We got to
going
give
be
it back.
Friday?
We got to give some of it back, man. We may not have to give it all back this time, but we got to give some of it back. That's the way it works. Calypso giveth, Calypso taketh.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And like I said, I'd watch this zone here at 101 and this zone here at 99 or so. You know, and that's pretty much it. I am going to check the let's take a look at USDT Dom real quick. So this thing has been taking a beat, and obviously Bitcoin's been flying up. But this, remember what I was saying earlier is if Bitcoin's momentum wave tries to curve around and give us that bear div.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me turn these off because I like clean chart. Well, same thing on USDT Dom. As you notice here, we're starting to want to. I'm not saying it's going to because this momentum wave could come deeper than this.
Uh-huh.
But if Bitcoin gets that bear div, this more than likely will get the bull div. Because it's literally the inverse of Bitcoin.
Bitcoin does, yeah.
This right here is a 7-year trend line that USDT dominance has been above for 7 years, probably more. Now, in my opinion, it doesn't have to stay that way forever because a lot of people are the more people come in, the more USDT dominance is going to rise naturally anyway because there's more money into the, you know what I mean?
Could you say that this thing looks like it's coming to a point here pretty soon, right? If you were to drop a downtrend on the top to meet the uptrend.
You mean here? Let me get rid of
all
this.
the way back to
That.
like basically,
Like if you were to come here like this.
up higher.
Yeah, let me pull this down.
Yeah. Okay.
My bad.
Are you good?
Yeah, I guess you could pull from there.
From up, yeah, somewhere up there, and hit to however it works. But yeah, something like that. So it's like, okay, like at some point, like we've got to either explode to the upside, break to the upside, or we're gonna break down.
Right. Which we want this to continue down if we want markets to continue up. And again, this damn trend line's been support for 7 years. So will this ever come down and stay below this? Now you're talking major money coming out of stable coins at that point and into the market. But like I said, the more adoption happens, you're going to have more people in, not necessarily in stables, but you're going to have more, how can I put it, more money in and out of stables. So will that ever break down and stay below it? Who knows? It could continue up this line forever. But I'm just saying, most people will watch that. Most people don't talk about USDT dominance, but if they don't talk about it and they're looking at it, they're watching this as an inverse correlation to Bitcoin. That's all.
Got you. Oh yeah. Sweet, man. Well, you getting pizza tonight, or what you doing for dinner? Are you a pizza guy on Friday?
I was going to make some chicken. I had pizza for lunch, so.
Oh yeah.
But I was going to make some chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy and corn, but I'm not sure if I feel like cooking. So I might do something small and then cook that tomorrow. I don't know.
That sounds good though, man.
I love, and just shred it up, put some barbecue sauce with it. Shit.
Speaking my language, man, with that BBQ sauce, let's get it. What's your favorite? What's your sauce?
It's barbecue.
No, what kind?
Oh, what kind? I do the hot and spicy Sweet Baby Ray's.
Sweet Baby Ray's, man. I tell you what, that's the one.
Yep. And the hot and spicy is the shit.
Sauce is the boss, baby.
And if you haven't tried habanero ketchup yet,
good.
Oh, so good.
I love spicy food, man. I'm a big fan of
So
spicy.
you would like this ketchup then, because I like things that are hot and spicy that don't really change the taste of things.
Mm-hmm.
So this tastes like ketchup, but it's just spicy. So it's not like you taste the habanero or anything like that. It's just spicy ketchup. And it's so good. Was there anything you wanted me to look at real quick? I mean,
No, we're good. It was great. It was we were talking about Bitcoin, man. That was the important thing. Altcoins, everybody's got their own favorite. We can do that again, man, next week, I'm sure. Or actually, I'm not around much next week, but well, I don't know. I don't know what the schedule is going to be like as far as doing the show. If there's going to be stuff that we'll do live with our friends because we'll all be together, or how it's all going to work. I know on Tuesday, Monday I travel, but I'll be around on Monday, and then I'll do a show Monday. Tuesday I'm emceeing that conference, so I probably will not be doing a live unless I just live stream like the whole day or whatever. We'll figure that out.
Right. Yeah, I was watching that thing you were doing. What's that local to your house? The where you were talking about VeChain, I think it was.
Yeah. We went up to the Atlanta blockchain. So that's going to be where we have the event for the Bitcoin pizza party on May 22nd. That's gonna be fun. Next week I'll be in Toronto, and that's gonna be fun. There's gonna be a bunch of people up there for the Futurist conference and then for Consensus.
Oh, okay, both of them are up there.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I heard you were meeting up with Doug and Carrie and all them.
Yeah, Chris is coming up. It's gonna be a good group, man. It's gonna be fun.
Sweet.
So hopefully soon we'll do something at an event over on the East Coast. There's gotta be a conference coming up soon in the Mid-Atlantic, I would think.
Yeah, I know Julie's in Philly. I don't know what she's there for, but I know she's in Philly right now this weekend. So I'm not sure what's going on up there, but
I wonder if it's because she works with Gochstein, right? And I wonder if they're doing like meetings or something.
Yeah, maybe. Good old Gochstein Media.
Oh yeah.
Well,
my brother, I appreciate you coming on and hanging out. Make sure you guys, I will put your contact information into, and by contact information, I mean the link to your YouTube and your X. But this way, anybody who watches a replay, because if you're already not following Blocky, man, what are you doing? Click the description, get down there.
I did hit 300 subs finally.
Let's go.
It's slow. I ain't been sharing charts much. People love my driving lives, so I really enjoy doing them. I like just hanging out with the community, and I'm more of a community guy anyway. I mean, I love my charts, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But what's different than anybody else showing charts? You know what I mean?
Man, it's interesting. It's almost like it's the live stream version of the space without having everybody or the ability for someone to come up that you don't know to ruin the conversation, or like we've had in the morning show or whatever. That's a smart way to do it. You're smart.
Yeah. Hey, when we hang up this, I know you're getting ready to get off, but chill out behind scenes real quick. I got a question.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. All right, man. Well, guys, make sure you smash the freaking like button on your way out of here. If you are watching on X, hit the heart. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. Now, remember, Sunday is Mother's Day. Guys, don't fuck it up. Do the things you got to do. Plan ahead. I know you got a couple days. So tonight, tomorrow, you got it. You got this, fellas.
Hell yeah.
All right, y'all. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.